Praise the Lord, everyone. My name is Leonard Ledoux, and I wanted to come before you today, and I'm following what God has told me to do. Basically, I'm coming to you. I'm going to kind of give you a testimony, if you will. Uh, First of all, I know a lot of people are wondering what's going on with me. Kind of, not everybody, but some people are probably wondering what's going on with me. They see a lot of scripture and they see a lot of things coming from me now that they may not have seen in the past. Well, the reason why that's happening is because everybody has a backstory. It's not because of the pandemic. I mean, that could be part of it, but a lot of it is because of what I've been doing in my life and what's been going on in my life, and I just want to kind of share that with you. I've been saved for a long time, and I know that I've been in the club and I've been doing things, but that doesn't justify being saved or not, of course. But over the few years, I was called to the ministry back in 1994, and I was ordained an elder in the Pentecostal Assembly of the World, and I had my walk with God, and I practiced, preached, and served God for years. I did that, and some things happened to me when I was in a church up in Virginia, and I went through some things. I went through a divorce, had some issues that happened within the church, and I fell into some things that kind of ran me away, which thus caused me to write this book called, it was called If a Talebearer Has Wounds, like a talebearer has wounds, but it became later now Healing the Hurt. And that book is out, and I'm going to be having some of those books here soon. If you want a copy, you'll be able to get. But to get back to my story, basically what happened was I didn't allow God to fix me. Instead, I thought the answer was running. So I decided to run away from the ministry, and this was back in 2002, and I ran back here to Kansas City. I came back to Kansas City because I was living in Virginia. I had retired from the military. I came back here and thought that I was going to leave all those problems back there in Virginia and that I would start a new life here back at home, basically going forward, and just people don't know what happened to me. They didn't see me, only God knows. So I kind of came back here and started getting into things. Came back and started getting back into life itself, just, out there in the streets, doing things, smoking, drinking, whatever. But all during that time, God stayed with me. He didn't leave me. He didn't release from me. He didn't turn me away or shun me away. He still blessed me every day to wake me up. I came back and I was out there, and I got married and was doing some things with that wife, and that relationship didn't work, so I ended up getting divorced there. But I'm just putting it all out there on the line, because what God is telling me to tell you is that just because you may have issues and problems in your life that you think you can't see the end, or you think that you've done so much that you can't come back to Him, well, that's not true. You can, and God will bring you back. But my thing is this: I went on with my life, and I went on and I got into the world of two-stepping, in which I enjoy and love, and there's nothing wrong with that. So let me say that now. Those of you that do and know me from that, there's nothing wrong with that. Continue to do that and love it. But anyway, my thing was, I was called to do this thing that God wanted me to do, and He didn't let go of me, even though I ran from Him. He kept me in my mind. He kept me going to do the things that He wanted. Even though I wasn't physically doing things, doing stuff, I went to church. I even went to a church here for a while when I wasn't married at the time I was there. But it seemed like all the people that was at that church the women basically were there because they thought that, for some reason, they thought I was brought there for them. And so they all came at me, a lot of them, thinking that I was brought there because God brought me, but that wasn't the case. So some things happened at that church, and I found that, the reason why these things weren't working in some establishments that you go to, and I'm talking about myself, not everybody else, is because He called me to have my own establishment. he wanted me to preach and to have my own church with him running it, of course. Not me, but him. So when I finally decided to accept that, I got married again, and I moved forward with my wife, who you know now. And yes, I done some things, and like I said, I just believed in doing what's right with God and not shacking and all that. But anyway, to bring a long story short, I went on and I kept on seeking the Lord, even though I was doing things out in the street and in the club. God was there with me, and he was showing me things within the club of what he wanted me to do and how he wanted me to touch people. So this pandemic came, and it was an eye-opener for a lot of people, but that's not the thing. I mean, I lost several family members during this time. I lost about 6 family members, and not all to the pandemic, but it just, death was all around, because God is showing us something in this pandemic that we need to come back to him and be obedient. And that's what this whole thing is about, what I'm telling you now, is obedience. Even though I was running from him and not doing what he called me to do, he didn't let go of me. He could have let me die. He could have took me out. Could have said, you're not going to serve me, so I'm not going to deal with you. But he didn't see fit to do that. He decided that I'm going to let you do this, and I'm going to let you see what's out there, and let you see that it's more to life than that. I have things for you, and I have things I want you to do. So I went on, and then this thing came along, and he told me one day, he just said, look, I need you back to be able to preach and teach the word of God, and I want you to start your ministries, and I want you to do it differently. Don't be the same way or the traditional way that you see that's out there. So my ministry that he has for me is a different thing, and it's about truth and not sugarcoating things for anyone. If it hurts you, if it cuts you, then that's what it's supposed to do. If it soothes you and brings you up and lifts you up in him, then that's what it's supposed to do. And I'm going to do that. But I just wanted to say that in this journey, in this walk, I have decided to give my life back to God. And I have decided to walk in what he has called me to do. And I encourage anyone that may be struggling with their calling, whatever that call is. If you're called, just make sure that you're chosen. And he chose me to do this. So I am not going to walk away from this anymore. I'm going to continue to do what he has me to do. Harmony House of Deliverance Ministries is my ministries. I am the pastor of the center that we're starting. And we're going to move forward and do what thus says the Lord. Now, I'm not going to be out here trying to act like the mega church person and all that stuff. You know, God is going to mold me and shape me in the way that he wants me to go with this. A lot of people are involved in this, and my wife is involved, and I know it's a change. And to some people, I let God work on them, because it's not about me, it's about him, and it's about how he wants to work it out with them. I will do what he says, and I'm going to go for it. So the message I have is, I want to tell you that, you got to trust and seek him for what he wants you to do, because we all have a purpose here. We're not just here just because. Our purpose is whatever he has for us to do. And what we have to do in that is find out, seek him out. You have to fast and pray and talk with him. And just let him talk to you. Listen to that still voice that comes to your mind, and let him tell you what it is that he wants you to do, because you're here for a reason. It's not just so you can whatever you do, whatever you like. I mean, there's nothing wrong. He wants you to be able to enjoy life, but he also wants you to know that he's first. And you got to keep him first, because that's what it's all about. Him first. He is a God that will let you know that it's about him. And he'll do things that let you see that there was no other way out or no way through it but by him, and let you get it, that you have to acknowledge that it is him that did it. So he helped me with my journey with my weight loss. He got me to a point where now I'm back to where I need to be, and I'm getting there. I changed my diet. I'm now a vegan, and that lifestyle has made me, it brought me closer to God. not only just to get me more healthy, but it brought me closer to him. And it's a sort of fast because it's like what Daniel did. Daniel was on a vegetable fast, and God spoke and used him in a mighty way. And that's basically what this is for me. So all I want to do is do what he says, do his will, and I'm going to go for it. So if you see me, don't be scared. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to throw God down your throat. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong or condemn you. I'm going to still be the same person that you knew and met before. I'm just going to serve him and use him in my life to be an example. I want to be that vessel that God uses to tell you or help you. I want to be that vessel that you watch me in my walk, that you can see God in me, that I don't have to be telling you that like some people will do. They come up to you and they'll say, if you died today, where would your soul go? I'm not going to put that condemnation on you. I'm going to let you figure that out on your own with God, because the relationship is between you and him. That's where the church is. It's not a mortar building. It's in your heart. The church building is just a place for like-minded members to come and serve together. But if you don't be in a mortar building, that doesn't mean that you're not saved or you're not right with him, because the relationship's between you and him. So you must find that and seek that with him. But as far as Leonard Ledoux, I'm ordained and back into what I'm supposed to do. You know, he has me going forth. And anyone who wants to go on this journey with me, I invite you to come along and join Harmony House of Deliverance. And we're going to bring the word, and we're going to have the word to you, and God will bring it through me to you, and he'll bring it to you through him. You know, it's all good. You know, life is good, and I'm proud. I'm happy. And to all of you out there, that's my friends, or those who claim to be my friends, or whatever the case, you know, I bless you. God bless you, and hope that, you know, when you watch me and my walk, because I know everybody's watching to see if this is temporary or is it just because of the pandemic. It's not. But, you know, I just want to be a blessing to those that I can bless, with God using me to do that. So with that being said, I just wanted to come to you and kind of share my testimony. It's a new thing for me, a new day, a new walk, a new journey of an area that I was in before, a new chapter. And I'm going to do my best to walk in it to the best of my ability, with God running it and ruling and guiding me in it. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to still see some of you. I might come to the club every now and then. You know, Jesus went to visit the people that was not in church. He went to the places where everyone was outside of the church to heal those people, to help those people. The people that's supposed to be in church, like the Pharisees, were supposed to already know the truth, even though they didn't. You know, he's not going to a place like that. He wants to go to where the people are so that he can help those people that really need and seek him. That's what it's all about. It's not about how much you go to church or how many tithes you pay or how much offering you give. Those are works. It's about how much time you give him when you're not in front of everybody. How much time you give him when you're in your prayer closet with him and speaking and having a relationship with him. That's what it's about. So you don't have to prove nothing to nobody. And I don't even have to do this video, but I did it because he told me to, for one. And two, this video is going to help somebody out there who's struggling with whether they want to go forth, or they're worried about people going to talk about them, or they're going to be against you. Well, guess what? If you serve God and you trust and believe in him truly, you ain't got to worry about them people, because he's going to take care of them too. You know, if they weren't really your friends in the first place, if that was the case. So you just need to go on in him and just believe that God is, and Yahweh Elohim is the one. I know everybody calls him Jesus and all that, but if you go out there and look at my video that I did on the true name of God, it'll tell you what his real name is and how we got to the name Jesus. Not saying that it's wrong for you to use, but you need to know the history behind it so that you can understand why. But that being said, I'm going to go on. I'm going to leave you alone. I know everybody has other things to do in their day, but I just wanted to tell you and be obedient to him that God is good and he will be there for you. In Jesus' name.